April 9, 1940, under the codename Operation Weserübung, Nazi Germany launches an invasion of Denmark and Norway strategically. Denmark serves primarily as a stepping stone for operations in Norway. In Norway, Germany aims to secure naval bases to confront the British fleet in the North Sea and to ensure the flow of critical iron ore shipments from neutral Sweden resources. Vital to the German war machine, the invasion of Denmark is swift, lasting less than 6 hours. Germany's shortest military campaign during the entire war. Norway, however, holds out for 2 months before officially surrendering on June 10, 1940. During the occupation of Norway, the SS and police forces become instruments of fear and control. Their most powerful figure is a German SS officer named Wilhelm Rediess, notorious for his role in deporting Norwegian Jews, executing resistance members, and enforcing brutal repression. Friedrich Wilhelm Otto Rediess was born on October 10, 1900, in Heinsberg, then part of the German Empire, the son of a court employee. Rediess trained as an electrician. In June 1918, at just 17 years old, he enlisted in the German army and served until the end of World War I. Afterward, he returned to civilian life as an electrician, but lost his job during the Great Depression. Rediess joined the Nazi SA in May 1925, the Nazi Party in December 1925, and the SS in 1929. On January 30, 1933, Adolf Hitler became Chancellor of Germany, and by September 1, 1939, the Second World War had begun with the German invasion of Poland. Between June 1938 and June 1940, Rediess served as the higher SS and police leader in East Prussia, reporting to Gauleiter Erich Koch. In this position, Rediess implemented Nazi policies, including the Nuremberg Race Laws, and supervised the persecution and deportation of Jews and others deemed undesirable. In spring 1940, Rediess took part in the mass murder of psychiatric patients classified as mentally unfit. Between May 21 and June 8, 1,558 people were killed at the Soldau concentration camp in German-occupied Poland. This was coordinated with SS Commander Wilhelm Koppe and Gauleiter Erich Koch. The killings were carried out using a mobile gas van operated by Herbert Lang's SS unit. Victims were crammed into the van, which was filled with carbon monoxide. After the gassings, camp prisoners were forced to dig mass graves, then executed and buried alongside the victims. Gauleiter Koch inspected one of the mass graves. SS officer Otto Rasch paid Lang 2,000 Reichsmarks for the operation. Rediess was supposed to pay 10 Reichsmarks per Jew killed, about 90 United States dollars today, but refused, claiming the killings served the entire Reich, not just East Prussia. This led to complaints and bureaucratic arguments across Nazi offices. In a letter to SS chief Heinrich Himmler, Rediess admitted to ordering the killings, but referred to them only as evacuations. A chilling example of Nazi euphemism. By the late 1930s, Norway gained strategic importance to Germany. German Navy Chief Erich Raeder pushed for access to Norway's coastlines to secure naval routes. In December 1939, Raeder and later Hitler met with Norwegian fascist leader Vidkun Quisling, who warned that Britain planned to invade Norway. Alarmed, Germany began preparing for Operation Weserübung, the simultaneous invasion of Denmark and Norway. On April 9, 1940, German forces under General Nikolaus von Falkenhorst invaded. By June 10th, Norway fell under German control. After the occupation, Wilhelm Rediess arrived in Oslo to assume the role of higher SS and police leader following the death of his predecessor Fritz Weitzel, who had been killed in an air raid. Over the next 5 years, Rediess would become one of the most powerful figures in Nazi-occupied Norway, overseeing all SS and police operations. In March 1941, concerns rose over Norwegian women becoming pregnant by German soldiers. Rediess responded by implementing the Lebensborn program in Norway. Between 10,000 and 12,000 children were born under Lebensborn. During the war, children of Norwegian mothers and German fathers, many linked to the SS. The program aimed to promote the birth of racially valuable Aryan children to strengthen Nazi Germany. In April 1941, Rediess was promoted to General Lieutenant of the police, and by November, he was an SS Obergruppenführer, equivalent to a U.S. Lieutenant General. He had control over the uniformed police, the security police, and Waffen-SS units in Norway, some of which were later deployed to Finland. For the invasion of the Soviet Union, Rediess enforced ideological training and discipline among his forces. He directed raids and security operations, demanding absolute obedience. Like many SS leaders, he had his own SS and police court, initially for internal matters. But after a state of emergency was declared in Oslo in September 1941, Rediess had the court's jurisdiction expanded to include Norwegian resistance fighters, with approval from Himmler and Reichskommissar Josef Terboven. Despite his power, Rediess was disliked by Nazi leaders in Norway. Rolf Fuglesang, a minister in Quisling's government, called him stupid, while General von Falkenhorst described him as weak and blindly obedient to Terboven. Even so, Rediess was a ruthless enforcer, feared by his own men for imposing harsh discipline, even executing Germans under his command. Rediess played a central role in the Holocaust in Norway, overseeing arrests, deportations, and the seizure of Jewish property. At the time of the German invasion, there were around 2,100 Jews in Norway, including 350 refugees from Germany and Austria. On October 24 to 25, 1942, orders were issued to arrest all Jewish men over 15 and confiscate their property. A month later, women and children were targeted as well. The Norwegian police, cooperating with the Nazis, arrested Jews across the country and transported them to Oslo for deportation. The first deportation took place on November 26, 1942, with 532 Jews sent from Oslo. Another 158 were deported on February 25, 1943, followed by smaller groups. In total, 772 Jews were sent from Oslo to Stettin, then transferred by train to Auschwitz. Most were murdered in gas chambers upon arrival. Only 30 survived. All men. Thanks to warnings from sympathetic Norwegian police and resistance members, about 1,000 Jews managed to escape to neutral Sweden, while others went into hiding. By early 1945, Nazi Germany was collapsing. In his final months, Rediess became withdrawn and depressed. A staff member noted that he was deeply concerned about the fate of his wife and 5 children in Germany and felt it might be better if he never returned home. On May 8, 1945, the day of Germany's unconditional surrender, Wilhelm Rediess committed suicide at age 44. He shot himself after a night of drinking with Reichskommissar Josef Terboven at Nazi headquarters near Oslo. Terboven would take his own life shortly afterward.